Have you ever wondered what would have happened if REO entered the Wildcard project instead of Kunigami? Would he become one of Isagi's biggest rivals? Continue watching this video to find out. Before the first selection starts, we would be able to see more scenes of REO and Nagi's relationship coming from the bluelock episode Nagi manga. Adding some more scenes of REO wanting to win the World Cup with Nagi and saying that he would let Nagi become the best striker than himself would create a huge turnaround later in their story. Nagi did not want REO to make him the best striker in the world, but REO insisted that it would be more fascinating than any nap or game. With this, Nagi accepts but asks REO not to leave him. REO then promises that he would never leave Nagi. Do you really think that REO would never leave Nagi under any circumstance? As we skip towards the game of Team Z against Team V, we eventually get the same results. Isagi makes Team Z his pets. So, we were just able to get more background between REO and Nagi's relationship, which would provide a bigger impact in the story. In the second selection, everything goes as it is, right until Kunigami and REO's match against Shido. Now, what would make Shido pick Kunigami over REO? There are a few factors that would come into play with Shido's decision. Because of Nagi leaving him behind twice during the start of this selection and during the match prior, this would affect REO's playstyle and mental state. He would be pretty distracted after the things that he went through, and his place would be just out of desperation to climb back up and be with Nagi. Now, another factor would be how Kunigami excites Shido with his place. We all know that Kunigami's efforts were not enough in the manga, but in this what-if scenario, we're going to see what happens if he actually keeps up with Shido and Igaguri, or if he at least played better than REO did. Even though I said that REO was making some irrational plays driven by emotion, that would not mean that he would be completely useless. As he is the supposed playmaker on the field, he would still have some decent plays set up for Kunigami in order to score. Because of this, Kunigami's powerful lefty shot was keeping them alive, scoring 2 goals and sort of getting Shido's attention. Shido would then be giving Kunigami credit as he was slightly impressed. However, REO hearing this would give them flashbacks on how he was not enough as a player to be the one who gets chosen. Now, as they are still trailing in this match, REO starts to wonder if he would even be chosen if they eventually lose this game. They are down 2-4, and REO starts to awaken his chameleon weapon. So with this, we eventually see REO's copycat ability earlier than the other arcs. He pushes down the field with the ball, exploiting Igaguri. He then copies Kunigami's powerful left-footed shot with way less accuracy, but it was enough to score and bring the game 3-4. Shido then smirks and instantly realizes that he can copy other players' moves but not perfectly. Although he may find this impressive, he still seems to be more interested in Kunigami due to his overall impact in the game and his interesting football ideology. We know that REO uses his nearly perfect skills to be able to understand how others who are specialized in certain areas are able to produce certain abilities. Therefore, he can emulate certain people's moves. However, he cannot do it with perfect accuracy. With this, Shido instantly ends the game by himself and sends Kunigami and REO on the verge of tears. Despite REO's surprising late weapon reveal, it was once again not enough to get chosen. As REO walks down the hall as the game ends, he is furious and instantly regrets about being so attached to Nagi. He finally realizes that he was the one bringing him down, or rather, he was bringing himself down due to his obsession. However, he sees the entrance towards the wildcard and is curious as to what is within the entrance. This is where the new REO Mikage awakens. Do not forget to like and subscribe to let me know that you want more content like this going. If you have more ideas that you'd want me to do, drop them down in the comment section. Since REO would be in the Wildcard project, Kunigami would have replaced REO during the match against U20, and nothing really super interesting would change, except the fact that Nagi would be surprised that REO was not able to make it out of the second selection, as he really expected him to make it out and possibly reunite with him. In the match against U20, bluelock would have a more difficult time since REO's absence would certainly hurt their team, especially defensively as he has made multiple huge plays during the game. Now, we will be moving on to the Neo Egoist League, wherein players get to choose which club to play for. Would Kunigami still play for Bastard Munchen if he did not go through the wildcard? I would not count it out, but I believe that Kunigami would have played for Manshine City. Each league has a certain environment wherein players can sharpen their playstyle. England is characterized by speed and physical battles. Goals are stolen by the law of physical prowess, and Kunigami would be able to flourish in this type of atmosphere with the type of build and mentality that he has. The master striker for Manshine City, Chris Prince, is also known as the perfect hero. You can't tell me otherwise that this team is not the perfect fit for Kunigami. Chris Prince has an iron body and is considered to be in the same level as Noah Noah, as he is the world's number 2. He would be very important to Kunigami's development, as he can certainly make Kunigami more of a beast with his ability to pinpoint certain muscles and specifically train them. When it comes to REO, he would be in Bastard Munchen just like how Kunigami was when he was the Wildcard. We know that REO has amazing overall stats as he has a grade of A in every category such as speed, offense, defense, shooting, passing, and dribbling. However, after the Wildcard project, all of his stats have risen to around the levels of an A+ or S-. This would make REO a deadly player all around. Now going back to the storyline, as they introduce REO as another player who would be playing for Bastard Munchen, Isagi would be shocked by how muscular and intimidating REO has gotten. Despite Isagi trying to start the conversation, REO would remain silent and eventually dominate the training course, placing at number 2. In the manga, Kunigami placed 3rd during this course. I would say that REO would be a good vessel for Noah Noah as he already has good physical abilities, and the Wildcard training would just make him even more physically developed. His mentality change would really allow him to climb up without Nagi being all over his mind. This time, he finally plays for himself, like he should have from the start. Let's not forget that he was the leading scorer behind Nagi in Team V, and he wouldn't even get those goals without REO. I mean, the guy can do it all, whatever it takes to win. In the first round of the Neo Egoist League against FC Barca, Isagi is having a really hard time adapting to what is happening on the field, as REO has also developed metavision. However, I can say that this would still be levels lower than Isagi's just like in the manga. However, his physicality would still be more than enough to stop Isagi, especially since Isagi has not really developed into the player that we know with the lack of usage and mastery of metavision. REO's enhanced body stats allow him to use metavision way longer than Isagi can. So, Isagi is going to have to find a way to deal with that. To sum this game up, REO and Kaiser dominate Bachira and FC Barca pretty much by themselves. And now the match that we have been waiting for, REO and Bastard Munchen versus Nagi and Manshine City. Nagi is barely surprised to see REO back in bluelock as they meet. It would seem that Nagi had quickly moved on from REO. However, a conversation sparks between the two. Nagi tries to tell REO that he's glad that he's back. But REO was not having any of it, and he told him off. It flashes back to the times where Nagi had left him. He tells Nagi that his dream is to win the World Cup by himself. And in order to do that, he says that he has to destroy him. His treasure would no longer exist, as REO finally valued his ego more. As the match started, we see Kunigami push forward with his body that seems to easily pass through defenders. He then gets pinched by 3 defenders, but it was still not enough to stop him, and he instantly scores the first goal from an even deeper range as it has increased exponentially. During the next play, Chigiri intercepts a pass and rushes towards the opposing goal. He runs past and outmaneuvers Isagi and multiple Bastard Munchen defenders, quickly scoring another goal with his 44 Panther snipe to bring them up 2-0. This would not even concern REO, and he starts the next play. He gets pressed by Nagi, and he is slightly surprised by how strong Nagi has gotten. From afar, Isagi is surprised by how much stronger these players have gotten with the help of the world's number 2. Although Nagi had gotten stronger, this was not enough to stop REO. He escapes Nagi and copies Chigiri's route towards his golden zone. Defenders then come after him from the right side as they recognize the play. However, REO uses his left foot to shoot with close to perfect accuracy. REO being able to develop ambidexterity and use it to his advantage has brought him to greater heights than before. The rest of the match would then start to follow the manga, wherein Isagi and Kuruna link up, and we see Isagi devour Kaiser by beating him when it comes to playmaking. The match would be shorter than it initially was, with Bastard Munchen winning 3-2. Nagi would not be able to score due to REO's insane pressure in defense. However, this would lead to a bounce back for Nagi sometime in the future. What do you think would have happened if REO wasn't chosen by Shido and entered the wildcard? If you have any scenarios that you would want me to cover, let me know down in the comments. Have you ever wondered what would have happened if Isagi had metavision from the start? Check this video out right here. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more content just like this. Thank you for watching.